And we're back again because it turns out there's actually a two-parter. Well, this is going to be its own vlog altogether. So, what's up, everybody? I actually have something else I end up actually grabbing. Now, this in particular is more so a little tool I wanted to grab as an upgrade to my current collection. As I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed before from the other most recent vlog in this case, with after watching Smoke Sesh, I'm pretty sure you guys know by now that I'm definitely a cigar, not aficionado, not an enthusiast. I'm just a fan of cigars. I like having a nice, tasty stick now and again. And yes, I'm well aware that that can easily be taken in a very different way altogether. So let's just get over that, shall we? Okay. So considering that placed in mind, how I am in fact a fan of cigars, I actually do have my own little small kit that I originally bought a long while back. I ended up buying myself a torch lighter, a 3-head torch lighter. You could just barely see the fire. And this guy's kind of out of gas as well, so I'm gonna have to fill him up before I decide to use it next time as well. This guy does have its own little tiny little itty bitty baseline punch right here. Little doohickey there. Just try to push it down, lock it in place, and there's my little itty bitty punch for cigars for the base. I've used this one in particular once or twice, and I did not like it because I found that it was still not the draw I enjoyed, and I ended up actually just falling back and utilizing the standard one, the standard guillotine cut. These were their own set that I actually bought off Amazon, and if I can find it from my own previous order, I'll link it down below in the description for you guys if you guys want to check it out as an option. You don't have to. There's a bunch of other options on Amazon, but I'm not gonna lie. Torch-wise, it's not bad. Even this, use it to make proper larger punch holes if you want, and you'll still get equal to the same draw. But I think, like, in terms of like an extra tool to have on hand, it does not hurt. There are definitely better versions of the guillotine cut out there, but this is the one I got with this in the same process. So, and this is actually my preferred method of lighting my cigars in general. There was even a point where I actually fell back on myself and started smoking cigarettes again, and I was still using this guy to light my cigarettes. So I got my cold beer here, so I'm just going to keep going at that. However, I'm still a fairly picky human being. I went on Amazon and I found myself something a little different, something new to try out. I got myself a cigar multi-tool kit in particular. Again, I'll link this one down below alongside the one from the first half. Ooh. Cigarloong cigar. I think this is just a weird generic Amazon brand because I'm not familiar with that at all. However, if there's anyone out there who does smoke cigars and you are familiar with this brand, let me know if this is like a generic, easy to come by brand for a multi-tool, or if this is somewhat well known. Just let me know. So let's just open it real quick. And inside, we have what looks like a mini flashlight. That's hilarious. However, this guy is actually supposed to break down into multiple little tools. On this side, if I'm not mistaken how to work this, let me just try to see if I can figure it out. So, okay, oh, nice. Okay, so this definitely spins, revealing the wider punch. See if you make a little bit of a small comparison for the two. Tiny punch, wider punch. Again, I used to use this to make this size hole very often. So that's one end, and that's the large head of the flashlight side. Now the funny thing is this does in fact have its own version of this tiny one right here on the base. If I'm not mistaken, should be able to. Oh, okay. I had to grab on, no, hold up, wrong way. So I gotta, yeah, that way. See, little tiny one. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they're basically the same size. It's not bad. I like that. I definitely don't see myself utilizing this one ever, but it's still useful nonetheless. And now let's discover a little bit more. Now, in the base of this, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but I think if I'm not mistaken, this side is supposed to be, if I'm correct on this one, this side is going to be, this is going to be the needle. Yeah, the needle. This, my friends, is basically the tool that's supposed to open up a channel, a nice airway channel in a cigar that is blocked up. So basically, if I take a cigar, cut it, and I try to do, don't want to stab myself because these are actually apparently very sharp, so I'm just going to put this down like this. So when you get a cigar and you take a cold draw through it, if it's tight, it should feel like you're drinking a smoothie through a straw. If you're basically sinking in your cheeks, trying to draw smoke through the cigar, that's where this guy comes into play. And what I'm planning on doing is the next time I do actually do another smoke sesh, I'm actually going to test out the cigar to see if it's going to require me utilizing this needle in particular. So do keep a lookout for the next cigar I actually end up trying, because it may just be the time where I actually get to put this guy to use. Who knows? We'll see. Now, if I'm not mistaken, on this end, this should be the side that has the poker, or the fork side, if you will. That essentially, when the cigar gets to be this little tiny little guy, and I still decide that I want to smoke it or keep smoking it, I should have no problem with it, considering I now have a set of forks that I could just stick into one side of the actual cigar where I'm puffing, and then puff away. And the funny thing is, it's so short in terms of how far it goes that the actual needle itself is sticking out to the other side. That's funny, and it is actually pretty sharp. All right, so stick that back in the hole. So that has been it for this short video. I'll be putting in the description down below the link to both this guy and my original set as well. If you guys want to check them out, do so. I highly encourage you to do so, especially if you're a cigar smoker or a cigar enthusiast, or you're just interested in seeing what it's like for yourselves. That's been it for this video, this vlog. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little show and tell, if you will, of all the goodies so far. God bless and take care. See you guys in the next one. Later.